Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome. If you are new here, I am Tammy, and this is Isaac's Rusty Wagon. And today we have a brand new home tour for you. It is one that I've never shared on my channel before, but Brandi is one of my Instagram friends, and I am so excited to share her home with you. Be sure to visit Brandi on Instagram at Hughes Farmhouse 16 and there, so be sure to pop over to Instagram and tell her hello and give her a follow and tell her you watched her home tour on my channel. And I thank you all so much for being here today, and I think you're going to absolutely love Brandi's beautiful home. And be sure to leave me a comment and let us both know what was your favorite part of the tour. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see you soon.
Hello and welcome to my home. My husband and I live here with our cat Louie. If you follow my Instagram, you've probably seen Louie a few times. We built this house in 2016. Well, we moved in 2016. But I love old things and old homes. But it just made more sense for us to build on family land, so that's what we did. That old window at the end of the porch came out of my church. And I have some summery things on my porch. Let's go inside. As soon as you go in, you'll see this was my granny's buffet. It's one of my favorite pieces. I love it, and I collect some panoramic photos as well as some other things. This is my latest find here. It was a bench that was teal. It was $10 at an estate sale, so I redid it and painted it. I do that a lot. I also collect some old trophies and silhouettes. You'll see more of those as we go around. I love blue and white. And this cabinet here was my husband's granny's. And my sister-in-law had it and offered it up to me, so it needed to be repainted. It had been painted before, and so I repainted it and changed out the knobs, and I put my blue and white in there. I love kitchen antiques, so I have a lot of rolling pins, mashers, butter, molds, all those types of things. Those are egg crates at the top. I love old quilts. So often, I'll show you a cabinet in a moment, but often I change out old quilts on the back of my couch. There's Louie going in the window. This cabinet, I still have some redone that I have. I've sold a lot of it, but I love old churns, obviously, too, and crocks. But yeah, and then I have some on the top. Grain sifters up there. Louie's in the window, so excuse him. I love silhouettes, and I have a little collection of those. I DIY'd a little shelf to put above both of my windows, and that's one of them that I wanted to hold my silhouettes. I shop at estate sales a lot, as well as yard sales, antique stores. I always try to find a bargain. This butter churn here is my latest antique find, and it was definitely a little bit of a splurge for us. But it has June 4th on the side, and that's mine and my husband's anniversary date. So I thought that was pretty special. I just have a firkin with some cotton in it. These chairs I recently purchased, or stools, and redid. I did a distressing on them, and I think they turned out pretty cool. I like checkerboards and old bowls and butter paddles. Of course, I have fresh eggs a lot because of my chickens. This table here is super special. It was my great grandfather's grandmother's. So my great great grandmother had this table, and it was passed down to me through my great grandfather. I'm collecting some little white pictures to add to my drying rack, and I have a pretty good collection going on. I DIY'd that Grace Upon Grace. I DIY'd the frame for my TV. If you follow my Instagram, I have a tutorial for that. This painting, I got it in a estate sale for a really good deal. I love plates, old china. Okay, let me show you the kitchen. I found this wooden piece on Marketplace a while back, and I used to have it in my garage just holding paint, but I happened to think it would be great to hold crocks. So I brought that in. This is my grandmother's handwritten recipes that I have framed on here. This, of course, is my dining room. Again, I've painted that table a few years back. It was scratched up on the top, and it's a newer table. It's not old. And these chairs, I love them. They look old. They went with this table. There's actually a couple more that I have, and I have a leaf that makes this table larger. But I loved these chairs. They look like Windsor chairs, but again, they're a newer chair, and I even like how they have some distressing on them. And I just have some fake lemons in my dough bowl. I believe this dough bowl is really old. The guy that sold it to me told me it was. So, and from inspection, if it's a replica, it's a really pretty good one. But either way, I love it. Over here in my dining room, I have my pie safe was a Marketplace find. My plate rack that's holding my some blue plates and my breadboards was a DIY that I did as well. And if you'll notice, there's my other shelf that I DIY'd holding some mashers. I have a lot of mashers that I love. I love flow blue plates, so I have a couple here. And here's a little overview of my kitchen. I'll go in there a little closer. And then I have another shelf up here that I recently DIY'd that I did. I put my butter molds on. And these two shelves right here on the side of my little kitchen wall, I did a DIY and built those myself and hung them up a little while back. And it just holds some of my collections, and I did a little peg rack underneath. That farmer's market sign, it was an old board we found in the barn. My mother and father-in-law live next door, and they have an old barn, and we found that right after we moved in, and I just painted farmer's market on it. And I love that. It's hung here ever since we first moved in. I recently just hung those baskets. I love the way that turned out. Yeah, I have a coffee grinder that was a recent find. Me and my dad built the egg holder ourselves. I found this silverware on eBay. And And it has an H. I don't know if you can see that, but it has little H's on them. And that's my last name initial, so I was very excited to find those. I love butter pats anytime I can find them. This board is an amazing find. It has some carving on the corner, and it has the bread knife that goes in. I found that in Clinton, Tennessee at an antique store. My cousin painted that for me, and I just found a frame for it. Here's a little view of my sink area. We actually built that drip rail and added it to my sink. My dad did a little channel in there to catch water. I was very excited about that, how it turned out. I love ironstones, so I have some ironstone pitchers mixed in on my shelves. That paper towel holder is an old store paper holder. It was a recent find. And I recently DIY'd a little curtain to hide my microwave. This little egg holder is super cute. It was a recent estate sale find. I have a friend that found me this. I guess it's like a little colander, stoneware colander. I found the little spice box, but it was missing some drawers and things, but it was a great price, so I didn't mind that. And yeah, that's my kitchen. Turning around, you can kind of see my laundry room in the back, and I'll show you that next. Okay, going into my laundry room. Most of the pieces in my home are pretty sentimental and special. This cane was my husband's grandfather's. The apron belonged to Mary Evelyn, his great aunt that actually used to own this property that our house sits on. I have some copper. Lots of things I have added to my laundry room. I recently redid that little shelf. It was a peg rack before, but I added a shelf to it. I have my sock stretchers hanging there. This little cabinet just houses some things like laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, Louis treats. My dad recently made a washboard for me, so that's a replica. And then there's some of my little finds. I made the laundry sign. I made this laundry sign as well. This little cabinet here, the green one, was a very fun find. I think I only paid around $40 for that at a local antique shop. And I just put little fun things in it. Change it out by the season sometimes. And I love scales. I love vintage scales. So obviously I have a big collection of those. And baskets. I love baskets as well. And yeah, I just have some other collections. The iron with the green handle was my great-grandmother's, as well as the ironing board behind me. I will show you. This ironing board was my great-grandmother's, and I added the graphics to it. So yeah, there is my laundry room. Complete with, it does have Louie's little bathroom in here that I DIY'd. Okay, next I'll show you our little half bath. This is our half bathroom, also with another washboard that my dad made. We DIY'd these shelves at the back. I found that street sign on Marketplace. That picture is my mom and my aunt. I'll spin around and show you the other side. This little shelf, someone local had posted it for sale, someone that redoes furniture and things, and I just loved this little cabinet. I liked how she distressed it, and I just hang our towel there for the bathroom. The cabinets in here are dark, so I just kind of went with that theme, and we did a black and white and brown kind of theme in here. So that's the half bath. Next we'll go upstairs. I added some numbers to my stairs with just die cut machine that I have. And at the top of the stairs, you'll notice my quilt cabinet. I will show you that. I have some windows just on the walls as we go up the stairs. At the top of my stairs is my quilt cabinet. It's not an old cabinet. I found it on Marketplace and needed a place to put my quilt collection that was growing. So I painted it. It was a dark brown color that I just didn't like the color it was. This chair was my husband's Aunt Mary Evelyn as well. The bonnet my mother-in-law found for me at a Mennonite community just north of us. Thrifted this sampler. It's not old, of course. It's from like 1981, but I love it. My friend found me these two things when she was antiquing. And at the top of the stairs, you'll kind of notice if you look back this way, I just have a big window and some more windows lining the stairwell. On this side, this table was my grandmother's. I found this lamp as well as the one down in the living room at a yard sale. I believe this pitcher and wash basin were thrifted finds. That's my husband's Aunt Mary and Uncle Ralph, the ones that owned this property. The little painting I found at a local antique store. And then now we will go to our bedroom. I love tobacco baskets. And again, old quilts. I often have a quilt draped across our bed. That's a little laundry hamper that I DIY'd. That mirror on the right was my grandmother's. I painted that desk to use as a makeup vanity, as well as the end tables. This piece right here was an estate sale find, and it holds my husband's shoes and some of our clothing. Our closet's walk-in, but it's just not very big, so we have some dressers and things holding extra clothing. This little bench at the end of our bed, me and my husband made out of an old door. I just thought it turned out really cool. This little dresser here was my grandmother's, and it holds some of our clothing items. And then next, I will show you the master bath, which probably has one of my favorite antiques in it. Okay, when you come into the master bathroom, over in the corner has our clawfoot tub, which, like I said, our house is newer, but my husband found this tub for me at a really good price, but it was in rough shape. So he sanded down the bottom, painted it, painted the feet, and the feet have the most precious little owls on them. It's probably my favorite antique. I don't know, I have so many favorites. Behind the door is this cabinet we ended up finding on Marketplace in a town about an hour or so away. And it fit perfectly behind our door to hold our towels and some of our bathroom items. I love it. Down the hallway is our other full bath. It has a full shower. I made the shower curtain. I painted this little stool. And this little towel holder was an estate sale find. I have this little shelf in here just decorated with some little bathroom type of things. And on the other side of the door is this rack, this antique rack that I found at an antique store, and some vintage art. I like a lot of green in here. So, of course, I painted the stool green, and a lot of the items on my little shelf here are green. The next room I'll show you is our guest bedroom. In the hallway, I have a lot of vintage finds that I've collected as well. This room has my husband's granny's furniture in it. It's a small room to have such large furniture in it. This is, I believe, a full-size bed. Then there's this big cabinet or wardrobe, and then a chest of drawers over here in the corner. I have a lot of Gone with the Wind that I have collected. My grandmother gave me the large portrait years ago. Turn off the lights so the glare's not there. And I never had a place to hang it, but I finally, when we built our home, decided to hang it in here. The window is also from my church, just like the one on our porch. The chandelier was an estate sale find. The chair in the corner was a thrift store find. And of course, there's old quilt on the bed. It was an antique store find. A lot of the pillows I have sewn myself, or taken vintage linens and sewn. This one was a some kind of vintage linen that I made into a pillow. And it's got that on the back. The little cabinet in the corner here was a marketplace find. And I took the, had accordion doors on the closet and they stuck out when they closed and I didn't have room. It's a small room, so I just hung a vintage chenille there. And on the back side of this door, that was some more Gone with the Wind things, and then my husband's grandfather's hat, another little hanger that I have sewn. And yeah, that is the guest bedroom. Thank you so much.